5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
There I am. I like the introduction so much, I played it 3 times. No, bear with me, folks. Bear away, because the new way on here that you can save things, and as you can see, I'm not yet used to it. So fucking hell, it's probably going to be a complete shambles tonight. Not only the match, but my presentation as well. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, goodbye. What the fuck? Here we are again. Hello, let's do it. Somewhere in the world, it must be time to get pissed, because that's what I feel like doing. Can I really be arsed today? No, I really can't. I just can't say it. I mean, have you seen the team that this dickhead has picked? We'll go through it. It's going across the bottom. Just take it in. Just take it in. The guy is an absolute wanker. When I said last week that the best thing that FaZe's mum could have done was to shut her legs, I think the best thing that Ruud van Nistelrooy's mum could have done was spit rather than swallow. I mean, it's just an absolute fucking joke. It really is. Let me just tell you about some programs we've got coming up. Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, looking forward to this. I'm going to be speaking to Lynn, who is the co-chair of the Foxes Trust. They have meetings with the board, and Susan and other members would be talking to them about what the Foxes Trust does, and also what's going on, you know, what are they discussing, what have the board said, etc. And then on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, fair dinkum, we're going to be going down under and talking to, you remember Luke, you remember Leeds fans take the knee, Luke, as we like to call him. He'll be back 9 o'clock on Saturday morning with a little bit of a chat there. And he'll be giving us his honest view, I'm sure, of what is going on. Right, so let's just say a few hellos before we get Tom in. Hello, hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. Good evening, Ronald. Jamie's in. Hi, Jamie. Gray is in. Best back four in the Prem. Neil Lennon reckons we're going down. Yeah, well, no shit, Sherlock. Intro as good as the back four. I know. Great intro. Thank you. Got there eventually. Hi, Paul. Hi, Keith. Hi, Blue Fox. 2-0. That's what I predicted in the league, but I've now gone 5-0. Clueless. I hope you mean rude, not me, although could apply to either of us tonight. I've got a whiskey and a Coke. Is that okay for starters? Absolutely fine. As long as you've got another one for later on when you finish that one, which will probably about be 3 minutes into the game. Yeah, Luke, awesome. Right, let's get him in. The man, the myth, the leg end, the man that, well, let me put it this way. He makes my beard look a shame. We'll bring him in. Let's get him in and say a very good evening to Thomas. Hello, how the devil are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Although it is a little bit like dragging yourself to the doctors tonight to get a boil lanced, isn't it? You don't really want to have to go, but you kind of got to go and face the music a bit. But at least we're getting out of the way early. We're going to have a nice weekend again, probably, because it will be in the past by then.
Yes, I actually had a bit of a chat today. For those that know, follow me, I do the radio show. That has now stopped. But I had a meeting with a local radio station, and it looks very much like I will be joining them. We've just to finalise the show. And I did say, because they were saying, well, when would you be free? And they were talking about Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And do you know what? It didn't bother me about missing the football watch-alongs. It really didn't. That's how pissed off I am with this pile of shit that goes out wearing, well, they're wearing black tonight, aren't they? But they should be wearing brown. I mean, I'm not bothered. Let me bring the team up here. I would do if I had actually got the right thing. While I'm just doing this, Van Nistelrooy wants unity and says great escape is possible. Really?
Yeah, quite a funny thing he's come out with there, Chris, isn't it? And there's also as well, he was saying about how they've sorted out these problems we saw on the pitch last week, and they've sorted it out in the dressing room. Whereas he was saying post-match, straight after it happened, he quite liked seeing it happen on the pitch. So he's obviously saying contradictory things now more than he has been before, in my opinion, which is quite interesting with where we are. And once again, it's quite an uninspiring team selection, really. I mean, I thought Koulibaly had a pretty decent go of it last time. He got taken off because he was booked. And yeah, he seems to have vanished, doesn't he? Which is interesting. And Justin's back, and then Vestergaard's back in, and I'm thinking Okoli wasn't great, but at least he's got a bit of pace. And then you look up top, and okay, Ayu's out, which is a little bit of something. But the only hope I can see, mate, all comes from Bunotte tonight. Hopefully he's a bit angry he's been dropped, and he might be the one-man show for us. But apart from that, this team collectively isn't going to do it, is it?
No, it isn't. And I have to say, look, normally I think Chris Sutton talks a load of bullshit, but I've got to agree with him tonight. This is a gimme for West Ham, and it should be a routine victory for them. I cannot make a case for Leicester to get anything here, and it looks like their hopes of staying up have had it too. 100% right.
Yeah, I think he's 100% right, Chris. I mean, we look at the last time we played them, they had 30-odd shots and we managed to get the win, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky tonight. And if I was them, that would annoy me. So would you want to go out there tonight and make a statement at home with your new manager against a team that's very susceptible right now? I could see us being in big trouble if West Ham are up for this.
Yeah. I mean, let's just go through it. Hermansen in goal. Yeah, all right. You know, you're not going to argue with that, are you? No. A back four, and I know in fairness, Craig wanted a back five, or, you know, which was obviously a 3 in attack, a 5 in defence. Fucking let's try it. But he brings Justin back, who has been shit at right back. I'm sorry. Yes, he got a couple of goals against Arsenal, but over the season, he's been fucking shit at right back. We all know that. All the fans know that. What is Wankaroo doing putting him at right back? You watch, he'll score a hat-trick tonight. Vestergaard back in. Why?
Yeah,
he can't. He was at fault for one of the goals because he was outrun by a defender at Brentford. You know, I can run faster than him, and I'm classed as obese. I mean, what the hell is Vestergaard doing in there? Faze, I said the other week, as I said at the start, his mother should have shut her legs and done us all a favour. Don't know what he's doing there. Christensen, the only one I probably agree with in that back four, though I'd sooner have Justin there and Koulibaly on the left.
I think the reality is, Chris, it's uninspiring whatever way you look at it, because Okoli's hardly torn up any trees since he's come in either, has he? But I'm more concerned seeing Vestergaard than Okoli, to be honest, just because I think if they utilise a bit of pace somewhere, we can be caught short immediately with Vestergaard in the team, unfortunately. And then alongside FaZe, who doesn't like to take accountability, that normally doesn't make a good mix. We've seen these two fall out already this season. So I'm not sure it's the best we can do. There's a part of me, mate, I hate to say it, I wonder if we're in a boat now where Rude's kind of doing protest lineups. We've had people do this before where they just go, well, this is the best I've got, so I'm going to play it even though I know I'm going to lose every game to make a point.
If he gets sacked,
yeah,
who's going to take him? I mean, I know somebody will take him on, but who would really want to? A big team's going to take him on? I don't think so.
Well, there's a horrible thing in this world. You could apply this to relationships. Sometimes if you want out of a relationship, you kind of drop tools, don't put anything into it, and hope the other person splits up with you. And I can imagine that this is kind of maybe what Ruud van Nistelrooy is thinking, because it's bad luck for him to walk out. But if he gets sacked, that's a different thing, Chris, isn't it?
Of course, because he gets his money and what have you. Look, I'm that pissed off. I can't even be asked to put a Leicester shirt on.
No, you also wear your horror one.
I put a Freddie versus Jason shirt on because it's going to be another horror show tonight.
Well, I've said literally. It's funny because I put that on my Facebook post. It was going to be a horror show turning up to this tonight. But it's why I'm sticking with the black, Chris, all the time now till we get out of this. It's a funeral until this is over, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Sumari Ndidi. Yes, I've got to say, probably. Nice to see Brenette back with Canoes. What the fuck is Dakova Reed do? After the last game? I mean, look, when Ruud... You know, when they sit there watching the game, I don't know whether Ruud is actually watching porn on that little screen, which he probably is, or he's watching another match. Because he cannot be watching Leicester when he's picking fucking Dakova Reed.
I think it'd been more inspiring if we saw Mavididi there today, wouldn't it, Chris? Especially Benotte coming in for Ayew, who'd come in for a lot of stick as well. And so I wouldn't have seen any harm in doing that tonight. I would have thought it would have been a nice time to go it, because also he hasn't been playing a lot of minutes. And right now, when you're in this sort of position, perhaps fresh legs is all you can ask for as a start.
Yeah. And look, people say, well, look, when Mavididi comes on, he's not exactly, turning up, digging up trees or anything. Well, he's only on for 15 minutes here and there. He's never going to do it. Look at Iheanacho. He was fucking awful, but once he got playing regularly, he was our top scorer for the season.
Exactly, Chris, exactly. Yeah, the thing is, the formation, and like Craig has put up with his team suggestion, the formation change is probably a sensible way to look at it right now, isn't it? Or bringing in some youngsters at least to the bench. People like Golding, people like,
no, don't be stupid. Ruud hasn't got the balls to do that.
Well, it's so daft because we've got to make money off these youngsters long term with PSR as well. It's the way the game's going. You've got to make your own youngsters to make money. Why are they sat there when this lot are playing utterly uselessly? And we can get them in now for next season. We might be able to turn them into decent players, Chris. It's bizarre.
100 million%. All he does is says, I'm going to pick these players. And then he fucking doesn't, because he's a bullshitter. He's an absolute bull. Fuck off back to Holland. Get out of Leicester. Do us all a favour.
It's not a good relationship, is it, with us lot right now with Ruud? And Ruud's not fitting it well, mate. Let's be honest.
No. He's not fit to run down to the local shop and get a pack of condoms. That's how unfit for the job he is.
Might give us some more protection if he did. Hooray.
Oh, hey! I like it. Well done, Sam. Scott, thank you very much. Just to say, Scott and everybody else, there's currently no LTIDD TV2. I don't know when that will be coming back. Things have sort of changed, and Brad basically went and got himself a girlfriend. Who knew? Ruud will never change. Oh, he fucking would change countries. Can't see us scoring. No. Ant is in. Hi, Ant. How you doing? Is Koulibaly injured? No, but we've got an injured manager, certainly injured in the brain.
Not even on the bench. It's bonkers.
No. Rudy's doing his Tesco order. on that iPad, probably. And again, why are we getting so many injuries? We've got this fantastic training ground. We've got a pitch that people can train on if it's wet, a pitch they can train on if it's dry, whether it's hard or soft. Have we got Harold Shipman back in as the doctor? Because I'm wondering, because there's that many fucking injuries.
Well, it's bonkers, isn't it, Chris? Because we're not used to this. 10 years ago, we probably had the best sports science in the Premier League. We had the smallest squad possible. They were always fit. So it's such a decline and departure from where we were. That's what makes this haunting to be sat here right now, because how dumb do we look as a football club? And it's our own doing.
No. Ant says we're not allowed to use youngsters. We need to play OAPs. And look, I literally would apply to play in the team, but I'm too young. I'm 63. I can't. Rude would never pick me. 63 now. You're way too young, mate. Come back in 10 years. Mavididi will not help out at the back. You know, sometimes let the defence do what the defence does and let the attack, because sometimes the best form of defence is actually attack.
Also, you could tactically get around this. I mean, we had to defend for Riyad Mahrez, but if we hadn't played Riyad Mahrez, we never would have won a Premier League. He never did any defending. We had to cover for him, but that's the tactics of the manager, Chris.
Yeah, indeed. There you go. I'll just bring the manager up just in case you're wondering who we're talking about.
I think Rude would be best to be registered as a player now. Can he register himself? We could bring him off the bench to replace Vards. Maybe he's still got some goals in him.
Oh no. We've got to remember, Rude van Nistelrooy, if he did register himself, he'd play himself in goal.
Probably. That'd be quite amusing, wouldn't it?
I mean, he doesn't. He has no idea about where players should play. Wiz Fox, yeah. Welcome to our world. Wayne is in. Hi, Wayne. How you doing?
Hey, Wayne.
Compulsive liar. Again, I presume you're talking about Rude. Everybody's saying hello to everybody else. If I sent Rude down to Tesco for a meal deal, he'd come back with a plain ham sandwich, a bottle of water, and a fruit bag. Probably. I'm 64 and was a beast up top back in the day.
Down the stadium, Gray.
Yes, and according to the missus, mate, you still are a beast up top. But there we go. Better than being it's better than being a good one behind, isn't it?
Mental cruelty. Cool.
It is. I mean,
you don't want to make light of like bad mental health conditions, but it is like having PTSD, this, isn't it? It's walking into the same nightmare every day, and we just can't escape it. It's haunting us now. Our fan base is losing it, Chris, as we know as well. It's remarkably stupid what's going on now.
I am registered as having depression. I'm on antidepressants. This football team is not helping.
No, you need to have time away.
I'm not making fun of it because I've got it, right? No, so I've got depression. So, I joke about it in as much as it's how I deal with things. Do you know what I mean? And
I'm a comedian, Chris. I'm a sad clown, so I'm on your page with this. Yeah.
We're not having a dig at anybody who's got that, and anybody who's got it, please do seek help and talk, because that's what worked for me. But I just wish is there anybody? Look, Pep Ball isn't working. It's not even fucking working for Pep. Yeah. So why does this idiot here keep playing or trying to play Pep Ball?
Yeah, exactly. It's bizarre, mate, isn't it? Because we've been shown that this can't be the best way to get something out of this team, is what we're getting frustrated by. And the thing is, a manager at his core should at least be inspiring you as a fan, or at least inspiring the fan base to some sort of something better than what we got. And now we're not getting it. We're just kind of getting nagged at every week almost in the press conferences by silly things he's saying and things not adding up. And I've really changed my opinion, because I felt he started really well, but he hasn't got a backbone. I'm sorry, he's not got a backbone at all. And you get found out very quickly in these line of jobs, mate, when you haven't.
Ant makes a very good point there. I've never disliked a manager as quickly as I have with Rude. I mean, I'm no Everton fan, but I don't think David Moyes has gone in there playing Pep Ball.
No, not at all. He's just got them.
He's not lost since they've gone in.
No, he's got them inspired, Chris. I mean, and he's getting the basics down. I mean, I look at this group now, and I said it to you. They need to know the basics again. I mean, I'm not saying we need to nanny them and tell them how to pass the ball all the time, but simple things like, guys, run into space. Try and make a bit of space for the guy to your left. The guy on your left, you try and get into space to help your teammate out. Use your legs. Run. Simple things. We seem to have lost completely that for this cloud of negativity. So I just really, Chris, honestly, tonight, my only hope is Buonotte's back in. He's a bit annoyed about not playing. I really hope he wants to put the finger up to Rude tonight and do something for himself, which we might be able to benefit off the back of, because I think that's the only way we're going to get something.
But if we do, does one man look? Everybody was saying, "Oh, let's get Ndidi back." You know, Rude hasn't had Ndidi like Cooper had Ndidi. Wow. That's really made all the difference having Ndidi back. I don't think one player is going to make that much difference, is he?
No, he's not, Chris, but that's the one ray of hope we've got. And I thought it was better to talk about that than us trying to dance around the 99% of darkness we're actually facing right now. So, yeah, it's my only niggle of hope for today. But realistically, mate, you can't look at anything apart from the facts of what we've seen so far.
Yeah. And it's saying here, second away day I've missed this season, and I'm not going to another one. The players can't be bothered. 100%, mate. They can't. You're quite right. We'll have to get you on on the post match for a chat, Ant. My boss is an Ev fan, and he says they have gone completely back to basics and being direct. Well, I don't care. I don't care if we play Wimbledon ball. Do you know what I mean?
No. I think actually right now it would do the team some good to do that, because it would teach them the basics of competing, because they don't want to compete for the ball enough, Chris. I'd put them in a position where you're going to play direct, you're going to compete for that second ball, and you're going to win that second ball because you don't do it enough.
Yeah. Shall I? Do you want to feel even guiltier, worse now?
Oh, God, what have you got up your sleeve?
I've got the West Ham team.
Yeah, I do feel worse. They got 4 major injuries and they're still going to ruin us.
Yeah. Creswell's in there, Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, Suchek, Kudus. I mean, looking at that, I mean, like I say, I went on to West Ham unofficial and I was in the chat and I went 5-0 West Ham. I'm
thinking it's going to be at least 3, depending on what they want to do today. But they're still missing key players, Chris. But I still look at it, and this shows you the quality difference, doesn't it? I look at their bench, and my bench I just look at it today and go, I don't really want to see any of these guys coming on particularly. Which is
I don't want to see half of the 11 that's on the pitch.
No, exactly. I would have taken such a more confident approach into this game if I just seen one Jeremy Monger on a bench. Just one. Just one. I'm not, but then that's too much to ask, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, all right, look, Cooper said at the start of the season, and I've said this many, many times, but I'm going to say it again, because it's my show, so I can do. But no, I'm joking aside. Cooper said, you're not going to blame me for bringing in inexperienced players and we go down. I'm going to bring in experience. Rude has had to deal with, apart from Koulibaly, he's had to deal with Cooper's team, right? If he went out now and said, I'm dropping the 4 or 5 of you and I'm bringing 4 or 5 youngsters in, and we still lost, to me, I'd say, well, all right, fair play, Rude, for giving it a go and trying.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'd garner more positive relationships with the fan base if he was to do such things. But this is the problem, mate, isn't it? Because you fall out with fans very quickly if you're saying one thing in a press conference and another thing is happening, and you keep doing it, and fans will question you. And I think he just gets to the point where he's just going through the motions and saying it now, and just, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, we don't want to go into this too doom and gloom, but unfortunately the path is set, and it's very much we're walking into to bury the coffin of Leicester City. And this team selection, this lineup, this philosophy, this manager right now isn't doing anything to stop the burial.
Leicester boss Ruud van Nistelrooy speaking to TNT on morale in the squad. It's important that you see the players are reacting. We all acknowledge that Brentford game wasn't good enough. Wow. You saw it. But we are better than that. No, we're not. We're not. With 12 games remaining today, it is a big game for us. It is an important one, we know. We know it, and we want to react from the Brentford game. Why? I've not seen any reaction to any result this season. And when he's saying to me, well, hang on a second, we can still do the Great Escape. No, we fucking can't.
No, we can't, Chris. No, it's completely gone by now. I agree. We need to be planning for next season, really, long-term foundational things now, and then, we need to build from there. But that's what worries me, mate, because we're not even addressing what is about to come next. And by the time we get to that, I'm worried where this team will be then, let alone where we are now. But yeah, so it's a frustrating one in that regard, mate. I mean, is there any positivity from your end you can see tonight, mate? Anything that's popped into your head that's like maybe this will help us?
No.
No, I'm the
Nothing.
same. You see, I mean, I've come on tonight to try and reach for it.
All I will say is just seen Jamie Vardy drinking a Red Bull, so we live in hope. And let's be honest with you, Man United did us a favour last night, and Fulham did us a favour against Wolves, and Southampton were just being Southampton. So that's the only glimmer of hope, and it is a very, very, very slim glimmer. Tom, thank you very much, mate. I will see you at half time.
No worries. Good luck, everyone. Try and enjoy it.
Try being the operative word. Cheers, buddy.
Absolutely, mate. Cheers, Chris. Cheers, guys.
There we go. Biggest positive for me is I haven't wasted 50 quid being there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, if you want to come on later on, just let us know. You're right, Creed. We have 2 youngsters set in Premier Reserve League alike. Yeah, absolutely no harm whatsoever. The players don't want it often enough. Players don't want it enough. I keep saying though, but when your guy that's leading you is as dumb as this guy is, there's no hope. There's absolutely no hope. Oops. Try that again.
This is the Leicester Till I Die Watch-Along show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
I would indeed. So here we go. We're about to kick off. Tony, I'm sorry, mate. I've been talking about football. Hi, Yvonne. How you doing? Remember, I'm going to go off now, commentate on the game. The mobs that are in, great, and everybody will look after the comments, I'm sure, for me. And fingers crossed. No belief. But we are in the stadium. Leicester are in there. We changed strip of black. I'll tell you what. I'm just looking at, I nearly said Harry Potter then, Graham Potter. He must be so happy. He must be looking at that and thinking, thank God I lost. Thank God I didn't take the job. Anthony Taylor is the man in the middle. Can we burst a few bubbles tonight? I've got to say, I honestly don't think we can. Smash that like button if you're in, please, guys. We've got to try and get to 50, 40 of you in. If we could win, not only is it obviously 3 points on the board, but it's a statement for us against Wolves and Ipswich. Doesn't take us out of the bottom 3, but we have kicked off now. Leicester, like I say, in the changed away strip of black and the full colour on the shirt. I don't know how to describe it really, but basically it's black with a bit of colour on it. West Ham, being the home team, are in their normal claret and blue top, white shorts, white socks. Kicking from left to right are West Ham. Leicester kicking from right to left. Otherwise, it'd be a very one-sided game. And the first goal kick goes to West Ham. Oh, it's a corner, actually. That's a corner. A corner off Justin's cross. Buenette's going to take the corner. He's bouncing the ball up and down. Big guns have gone forward for Leicester. Big guns, say they're firing blanks. Can't be positive on. Ball comes in from Buenette. Vestergaard, I think, got something on it. Christensen now can't get the ball in. He'll get another chance, possibly. Dakota Reed. And it's another corner. Second corner in 2 minutes to Leicester. That one off Dakota Reed. Let's hope he shows more than he showed against Brighton. Leicester fans are trying to get the team going with a bit of shouting and cheering. Christensen crosses the ball in, but it's headed clear. Ndidi, though, he takes a shot. Oh, at least it's a shot. 1 minute 47 gone. A first shot comes in from Leicester. Ndidi, it was on target, but it was a comfortable save. Comfortable save. So, like I say, we cannot get out of the bottom three. I just feel if somehow we can win, it will just, like I say, with the other teams losing. But then again, if we do manage to get a good start or anything like that, we never sort of build on it, do we? So West Ham come forward on the far side. Oh, crossed in, but it's headed clear by Samare, I think it was. Oh, good move here from West Ham. Oh, Alvarez had the ball taken off him. Is that going to be by Buenette? Is it a West Ham throw, I think? So down that right-hand side again. Are they targeting James Justin, I wonder? Still can't get used to Wan-Bissaka not being Man United. He's on the ball now. Gets it out to Kudus. Plays it back inside. To Bieber. Or not to Bieber? That is the question. I know, I'm sorry. Apparently, they have lost the last three in their last 4 games at home, West Ham. But this has got to really, they're looking at this and thinking this is a free hit. They're safe. They're not going to get, I mean, I know they're down just above Wolves, but there's a big enough gap. What a ball from Creswell. Christensen managed to get his foot in there, and West Ham come back again. Christensen gets over again. It's a throw in on this near side. Was level with the 6-yard box. Takes it quickly, Wan-Bissaka. It goes back to almost to the halfway line. Oh. Christensen gives me a heart attack there. Ball comes across. He goes down to head it, but he's heading it down. And I don't know what Emanson was expecting him to do. There was a West Ham player watching him. Please boot this upfield and not just... Yeah, he has gone long this time, Emanson. West Ham were actually cutting out the options for him to to take some take a short free kick. Yeah, they're all saying it, and Robbie Savage is on co-commentary, but they're saying, yeah, it is 3 from 4. I mean, do we feel? I feel if we lose tonight, that's it. We're down. So Bowen's on the ball. They're just keeping possession well at the moment, West Ham. They're frustrating Leicester. It's all in the Leicester half at the moment. It's played back again. It looks like Leicester are happy to let West Ham have the ball because they're not actually doing anything with it. But you've got to be careful. You're not going to do anything with it if you haven't got it. And we haven't got it at the moment. Have we ever had it this season? Thing is, as much as I say about Rude, we can't sack him or change him. I mean, it's just ridiculous to change again now because whoever comes in, what can they do? Look at Dean Smith when he came in. Finally goes out for a Leicester throw. Now, that's a telling fact, isn't it? When Rude took over, we were 1 point above the relegation zone. We're now 5 points behind. And from the throw-in, we give the ball away again and we've lost it. And immediately it's West Ham with it. 87% possession to West Ham at the moment. And again, it's gone out for a throw into Leicester. More due to a West Ham mistake than anything Leicester managed to do. And now I don't know what we did, but we've given the ball away. It's a throw in now to West Ham. And they're just stating on the telly that we are worse off under Van Nistelrooy than we were under Cooper, but we all wanted Cooper gone. You know what? Robbie Savage is right. It is a huge game tonight. When you're looking at the games we've got coming up, does anybody think? I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy's come out and said, hasn't he, that we could do a great escape. Do we? I mean, I said earlier in the pre-match, we ain't going to do a great escape. Anyway, it's through to Areola in the goal. Now it's out. Lovely ball across the field. Oh no, it was intercepted by Leicester. Vestergaard, ball forward, but it's asking a lot of Brenette. Oh, sorry, El Canous. So on the far side with West Ham, playing it into the middle. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking West Ham are just knowing they can just take their time and wait. And again, the ball goes out, but it was a poor pass by West Ham more than anything that Leicester managed to do. Don't know why I put my phone away. If it notifies me before I see it, I won't be surprised. Remember, no spoilers, guys. Renotte tries to go through, but again, does he do a little bit too much? We did have 2 players on him. And he goes back to Areola in the West Ham goal. The 12 minutes gone. West Ham, I've got to say, West Ham are probably on top purely because of the possession. Oh, they're asking for a foul. It's not been given to Leicester. Just trying to find the stats, but there's none there at the moment. Samore out to Christensen on this near side. Leicester having a bit of the ball at the moment. Back to Samore. El Canouse to Christensen. Christensen comes back to El Canouse. El Canouse takes it all the way back into our own half. And Wankerman. I can't even call him his name, Faze. He's Wankerman from now on. Wankerman passes it to Christensen. Christensen out to Cover-Reed. 1-2 with the El Canouse. And now then the Cover-Reed nearly loses it. Who knew? Vestergaard plays it forward. Oh, it's a free kick to Leicester. El Canouse taken out there. If we do go down, unfortunately, I've got this feeling we're not going to be able to hold on to El Canouse, but we could make some money off his sale. He's going to be a gem. Whoever gets him after us will be a very, very lucky. Of course, he's not got his two coaches that he sacked with him. Rude, Christensen, Vestergaard, El Canouse, Indeedy, Samori, sorry, back to Wanker, over to Vestergaard. Vestergaard, back to Hermansen. Hermansen plays it forward. Renotte. Oh, come on. So again, it's West Ham. Vardy going in there. Letting the West Ham player know that he's there. Let's just put it that way. The West Ham just holding on to it at the moment. They are making us work for this, West Ham. Now they come forward down this near side. Vestergaard did well there. He didn't actually touch the ball, but he managed to put the West Ham player off on the goal line. Or the back line, I should say. So it's out for a goal kick to Leicester. Could have been a corner, actually. They may have got away with that one. Got nobody up front apart from Vardy, says Robbie Savage. Well, who knew? Who knew? Vardy now. Oh, Vardy got past his player. Oh, he had Dick Overreed in the box, but he couldn't get him back across to him. There's too many West Ham players in the box. Sorry, Prescient. I just say it as I see it. Evie Rose, you're quite right there. I bet he did, yeah. We're not going to have a great escape. How you doing, Jeff? All the way from the Filipinos. They're getting numbers behind the ball. They're defending well, but then they've only got Vardy to defend against. Yeah, 5 West Ham defenders running back against 1 Jamie Vardy. Jacoba Reed beaten. He might be playing a wing back. He's not playing a very good one. Oh, indeed, he got his foot in there. Oh, Canoose. Van Command's got it at the moment. Oh, lovely ball through, though, to El Canoes. Oh, and he fucking hell. That was a lovely through ball to El Canoes there, who actually tackled himself. I mean, what chance do you have? %72% possession for West Ham at the moment. 1 shot to us, no shots to West Ham. Leicester have not had a touch inside West Ham's box yet. Oh, Bowen beats Samari with ease. Christensen holds him up, but he's still got it. Manages to get it in. The ball comes across. Oh. I've not got it away yet, is 1-0. Souček there. How fucking easy was that? That was just too fucking easy. It's his birthday today. I mean, it was well beaten anyway. Poor clearance when it did come out. And Vestergaard, it wasn't offside. Again, no defending at all from Leicester there. But we're just saying that all the time, though, aren't we? Cheers, Doug. Doug has rejoined and become a member again. Thank you very much, young man. I'll be interested to see who Tom thinks that it was at fault for that. So is there another record about least number of clean sheets? I mean, West Ham aren't even out of first gear. Let's be honest. Of course, now it's given West Ham a boost. Kudos on this side. He's got Samari watching him. We're not going to come back from this, let's be honest. Robbie Savage just said, if that was him now, a Leicester manager, he would match West Ham and go 5-3-2. Rude Nisselroy, 2 up front. I'm more likely to grow a second dick than that happening. Prasan, thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that. Clicking on and becoming a new member. Welcome along, sir. Have a check what's included, and if anything, anything you fancy, then just send me a message. Jim's in. Hi, Jim. Thanks for doing us a favour yesterday, Rich. Oh, corner came in from West Ham. I think it was punched, but not very far by Hermanson. Ball comes in. That's gone out, and it's a goal kick. Exactly, Keith. When you go down 1-0, Luke Thomas is warming up. Goals conceded first this season. Leicester, 22 games. The most in the Premier League. Up and under from Wanker there. Again, I mean, the commentary is just making me laugh. Looking at Leicester, they look a bit placid out there. Doesn't look to be much fight in them. Never has a truer word been said. Yeah, Vardy is isolated exactly. Oh, Anthony Taylor. Hi, Ryan. Who are you? Are you Ipswich? Remind me. Robbie Savage. Goal difference will not keep Leicester up this season. Too fucking true, mate. No shit, Sherlock. Unfortunately, Ryan, I'd love Ipswich to stay up. Not obviously if it means we go down. I love the Ipswich story. I really hope that they've got a chance of staying up. It was just so easy, just showing the goal again. The defence was just stood around. Unfortunately, this is it. It's not you're punished in the Premier League. Last season, you were doing great. You were scoring last-minute goals, and you were turning wins into draws and losses into draws into wins and losses into draws. And this season, we're both getting punished. Fortunately, you've got a half-decent manager, and you've got players that want to play. So it's a free kick to West Ham. Who knew? Been all free kicks to West Ham. Of course, it's Anthony Taylor. Is he a West Ham fan? Possibly. Of course, they've got James Ward-Prowse, West Ham. Christensen got his head to it. James Justin now. They're shutting us down reasonably well. Oh, hang on. Shock horror. Anthony Taylor's given Leicester City a free kick. Wow. Thing is, I'm 63 and I don't know if we get relegated if I'll ever see my team in the Premier League again. You know, we look at this team when it's picked and we can see that it's going to be shite. Jim, honestly, I don't believe I will. I mean, look, if you're saying to me, if I had the chance again, would I take, the Premier League trophy, the FA Cup, the finishing fifth twice, quarter final of the Champions League, semi-final of the Europa League? Would I take that knowing I'm going to get relegated? Of course I would. I'd take that every chance and get relegated after it, definitely. But I just don't see any fight. We keep saying, doing the same thing again and again and again. Justin belts it upfield, which is what, oh, for fuck's sake. It's headed and just headed into nowhere. Don't know how that didn't go out, but it didn't, and Manson kicks it upfield, and now it has gone out. And Manson showing the kicking ability of Schmeichel there. Champions League back next week, folks. Do you remember that? Yeah, Gray. Do you know what? The women actually won the other day. Do you think they could by any chance put a couple of those players in? Do you think they'd notice? If West Ham were to go up a gear, I would dread to think, well, are we playing it back again? Then Samari loses it again because he can't keep control of the ball. And here they go now. West Ham he slips over West Ham. The West Ham player slipped over, which may mean he's lost the chance, but no, he gets it back to another West Ham player on the edge of the box, plays it into the middle. Oh, Christensen came in. And then El Canouse just gives it away because he's got nowhere to fucking go with it. Oh, here we go. 2-0, surely. I mean, it's not that it's good defending. They've just said it's just because we had a lot of players back. Because we're playing 9 at the back, I think. Oh, fuck off, Anthony Taylor. I've got nothing to talk about. I really have got nothing to talk about. I'm watching it. They're watching Aber Voyage, Gray. Queens Road. Now, I mean, Tony, that is presuming that we are able to get above Ipswich. We ain't going to get above Ipswich because they're a better team than us. And that's not going to happen this season anyway. Christensen just boots it upfield. Vardy on his own can't even get up and head the ball. The ball just goes completely past him. George, don't ask. Dave, not just Vestergaard. We could go through the whole team. And up and under by Leicester. But Jacob Reed can't control it. Well, we knew it was going to be tough coming up, but not this tough. If we look, to be honest with you, Gray, I don't know. Hammartsfield. I just don't know what we're trying to do. Yeah, when we do get a foot in or a clearance, the ball just goes to a West Ham player. Oh, here we go, West Ham. That was a lovely move. Oh, and he's just put it wide. That was a lovely move by West Ham. I have to say, applauded by Graham Potter there, and quite right as well. It was a lovely move. The defence was just totally and utterly cut open. Who knew? Who knew? It might even be a corner, actually. Robbie Savage, he must have said about 3 times now, Ruud van Nistelrooy needs to get 2 up front. I mean, I think Savage is a manager now, isn't he? Oh, now they come down this near side. Can Christensen get back across? In fairness to Christensen, yes, he has. And he boots it upfield again. Do you know what this reminds me of? It's like watching a Premier League team play a League Two team in the FA Cup. I'll tell you something, we ain't the Premier League team. We're just kicking it around the back. You know, he's set up not to concede. We've conceded, so now he needs to do something. Poor crossing by Kudus. There's a corner. Ruud van Nistelrooy stood there not knowing what to do. He really had no idea. You don't want to know what us Leicester fans are thinking about this first half. Believe you me. Oh, it's 2-0. How did that go in? How did he the hell get that in? Just before half time again. 2-0. Let's have a look at this. How did that go in? Could be an own goal. Vardy just getting in the way in the defence there. And it's been confirmed. Who fucking knew? Who gives a shit? I mean, just saying, we weren't going to come back from 1-0. We're definitely not going to come back from 2-0. Oh, you don't? I mean, Leicester might as well throw caution to the wind. Fuck off. I mean, this is embarrassing listening to these commentators talking about my team in the way that they are. Ariola might as well have been sat in the net reading a book. Free kick just hit the wall. And now it goes all the way back, and it's half time. I'll be back in a minute. I don't know. Will I be back? Are you bothered if I'm back or not? What's the fucking point? See you in a bit.
You got to laugh.
Over to you, Tom.
Well, mate, I must be honest. We're in that position now where I think the kindest thing that can happen to us is West Ham come out and murder us second half, and we're forced into a decision because we're rotten, mate. We're completely rotten through the core. Everything the commentary team has said in this has been absolutely spot on. We're just no energy, no desire. Kudus goes into the box, falls over, has a minute to stand up and readjust himself and get a ball across. Sums it up, really, doesn't it, mate? Yeah, we need to burn it down and start again, mate. This club is rotten to the core right now. So actually, the kindest thing would be to go out there and get ruined. So we're in no doubt about it, and we have to make a call. I think it's that
bad. Bring a cider with you. There's.
I've had to have a coffee, mate. I was falling asleep.
It was what you call a balanced diet.
Oh, mate, bless you. Yeah, and I mean, it's what's really bad about it is that West Ham haven't got out of first gear. I even looked at Jared Bowen. I think he was a bit embarrassed at how bad they were playing, but still winning. And that sums up just the difference between the two. Let's give us some of the commentary quotes in a minute, Chris, that we heard.
Yeah, please do, because I've written a few down as well.
Oh, mate.
Same one.
This is and you think the curse of the commentator as well hasn't helped us today, has it? There's an inevitability about Leicester right now. Placid, no fight. You know, they're 1-0 down and they haven't broken. They're 1-0 down. They haven't broken sweat. They're 1-0 up. They haven't broken sweat. You know, and I just think, mate, we're a night off. We're a night off for every single Premier League team at the moment. You know, it's that laughable. You know, if you haven't got quality, you at least show some mettle. You at least show some fight. They've been walking around the pitch, and it's It's staggering, mate. It's
I
staggering.
said they haven't got out of first gear yet.
No, and we certainly haven't even got ourselves out of neutral, which sums up why they haven't got out of first gear their side, mate. It's yeah, it's so depressing. And once again, the fans have gone down in numbers tonight. I mean, and it's just such an absolute storm, mate. It really is. I actually wonder, mate, if the kindest thing to do would be to withdraw the club from the league. We're going down anyway. Just, there's no point in this. There's no point in us even turning up if this is what it's going to be. It's beyond embarrassing, for Leicester City. It's beyond embarrassing for football.
22 games, Leicester City have conceded first this season.
Yeah, and ironically, mate, what did Ruud do today? It seemed like at the start we're going to double down on the defence because we shipped 4 goals last time. And once again, it completely neutralised any opportunity of attacking outlet. We were far too narrow. As soon as Decordova-Reid got the ball, he was immediately turning around and going backwards because he couldn't get past his man or didn't even want to try and get past his man. I do not understand when you're losing games 4-0. And Robbie Savage said it. I was sat there going, bring Robbie Savage in to manage this team. He said play 5 in the back. He was saying, look, if you're going to be losing anyway 2-0, why don't you try and go 3 goals up or 2 goals up? Why are we sat there just pedestrian at the back, just allowing teams onto us?
3 times Savage said Ruud van Nistelrooy needs to go 2 up front.
Well, we've got nothing else to lose, Chris. I mean, we need to have something up there. And like every time we come forward, look at Christensen. He bursts forward at the end there. He tries to play the ball across, and Vardy can't get to it because we haven't got enough bodies forward anyway to put pressure on the ball.
I'm just going to very quickly take you out because I have a surprise guest here, but always lovely to see you, Kate. At least I've got something else to look at now.
Just got to pop on. What the flip am I watching here?
How fucking awful is it?
I just
last week I said the best thing that could have happened to this club was if Wout Faye's mother had shut her legs. And I've got to say, the best thing that could have happened this week if Ruud van Nistelrooy's mother had spat rather than swallowed. I mean, how defensive are we going to be?
I don't mind being defensive, but it seems absolutely stupid being defensive when you can't defend.
Yeah.
Like, just accept it. So why have we got 2 number 6s who can't play that role and can't play football? And that's just so identical. There's so much overlap. We've got a defence who can't defend. VK, don't even get me started on VK. And we've not got a single ball playing midfielder. We're setting up for the counter, but when we counter, everybody's in their own box. So we can't counter because there's nobody to pass to. So what's the game plan here? I'm not really understanding.
A couple of people in the chat have said, what is the plan? I don't think there is a plan. Decordova-Reid playing as a wing back? What? Since when? And Vardy on his own up front. That's if we ever get the ball in their half, which is not very often. I am cringing listening to the commentators saying, where's the fight in this team? And the commentator said, Ruud needs to make 5 changes at half time. There can't be any worse. I mean, yeah. Kate, that is damn. And they're just showing the second goal again. I can't believe that went in.
Everyone just stood still.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello, Tom. Sorry, I didn't get to say hi.
No, it's fine, Kate. Great to have you here, man. I'm glad you're not down there tonight. You're actually nice and warm for once.
Well,
you
yeah,
deserve that.
Even in Leicester's heyday, West Ham is my least favourite ground because it's not a football stadium; it's an athletic stadium. It seems like we've not got the memo about it being a football stadium either, because we're not playing football there, are we, tonight? Bloody hell!
No, it's an utter embarrassment.
Tom, what can we do? I mean, is sacking Ruud a possibility at this stage? I mean, I'd get Neil Lennon in, to be honest with you. At least he'd put a bit of fight in the team.
Well, the performances we're seeing, mate, nothing's going to be off the table in a minute because hands will have to be forced because even the commentators are saying it, right? When that narrative's out there, it'll come after any man. The problem is we might not have the money to do it, so we might have to ask him to walk on his own accord, perhaps. But to be honest, this is such a nightmare. He mustn't be having a good time either. He's not looking like he is. And he's actually, I think, affecting the team negatively a bit now as well. It's like there's a heaviness about it all as well, which I don't like, you know. Yeah, so it's difficult, Chris. Where do you go from here, really? That's why I wonder.
Depth, he just seems
Sorry,
out
Kate.
he seems out of his depth, doesn't he?
100%.
Do you remember Martin O'Neill, Kate?
Yeah.
He used to be up and down that touchline, barking instructions out and what have you. And it goes to Rude on the sideline, and he's like, nothing. There's no.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Brendan Rodgers wrote stuff down in his notebook. I don't even think Rude knows how to write anything.
All he wrote was Gucci belt.
Well, yeah, but at least he looked like he was doing something. Rude isn't even making the effort to look like he's doing something.
But as soon as I saw it tonight, even if Jordan Ayew's not playing, and I'm not going to get on Jordan's back here because he scored some really important goals for us, but it's the formation. Like 4-2-3-1, we can't play it. We cannot play that. It's not worked at all. So just try 3 at the back. Try 2 up top. Try something different. Like Vardy is so isolated. Age he's isolated. And just put Daka up there. Just put that Daka. Let him do the run. 2 against that defence. Because that Kilman looks a liability. He looked awful at the King Power. And he's shown again tonight. He's a lump of a unit of a guy. But he cannot play. So try and expose that a little bit.
Thing is, that's if we get to the box. 15 touches West Ham have had in our box. That sounds rude, but you know what I mean. Leicester...
Yeah, good pun there as well, Chris.
Thank you. Leicester have had 2 in West Ham's. It's just, we've got a goal, an expected goals of 0.08.
Oh, yeah. That's higher than I expected, to be honest. I know, but when Vardy got the ball and was able to toss it over, like only Bobby was there. And I've said this before on our show, Chris, that Bobby, to me, I know people aren't his biggest fan, but Bobby does always get there. He makes himself available and he breaks with pace. Vardy's there. He's beat that Kilman on the right-hand side, crosses the ball in, and no one else is past the halfway line. No one else is past the halfway line. Wilf and Samare jog up, but there's no urgency. What's the point in having midfielders if they're not going to be there to support an attack? Like, I don't get it. It's completely backwards.
I'm going to make a prediction now. And I'm
3-2 for the win.
No. I may look stupid, but I'm not. But my prediction is going to be there will be a substitution at half time. Harry Winks will come on.
4.
I don't care. I don't want him to come on. Because I don't think he's going to, but you know that he will.
Yeah, I mean,
probably for Ndidi, to be honest with you. I can see him doing that. I don't want Winks to come on. Mind you, he couldn't do any worse than the 2 that are there. But
well, I thought on Friday that Samari and Wilf, one or the other, because they cover each other's ground. I feel like they're getting each other's way a little bit. And I think Craig said the other night, didn't he, Chris, that Wilf looked at his best when he's that lone ranger in the defensive midfield position because he can cover so much ground. And Samare Samare's going to cover that side, but he doesn't. So Wilf ends up doing a bit of a half-assed bodge job, and he doesn't fulfill his own potential either. So you need a ball player. You can't have, like, Samare's too hot and cold. He looks like a well beater 1 in 10.
Yeah,
and don't see him again, and it's absolute insanity today what I'm watching because it's a carbon copy of what, and I really hope we get to half time at 1-0. I thought, but then that was too much to ask, wasn't it?
To be totally honest with you, in those last 5 minutes, I was actually that bored. I was messaging my daughter and trying to find an emoji. And I actually missed the goal live. I had to watch it on repeat. But that's how bored I was. But look, you know, it's a funny old game, somebody once said, football. So we never know. We never know. Kate, would you like to join us at full time?
Yeah, I should be able to, yeah.
Brilliant. Join us for the post-match reaction. And cheer us up.
I'll try not to fall asleep. I'll try not to fall asleep second off. I had to get a coffee.
Tom, you might need to prod me or tap the screen to make sure I'm awake.
I'm not saying anything to that. If you two want to, if you want Tom to poke
I didn't bite. I didn't bite, Chris. I
can't
showed
get
some
any
composure.
worse. The first half can't. The second half can't be any worse, surely.
Do you want,
In some ways, we might want it to
Henry
be.
Winter.
In
Foxes
some ways, we
never
might
quit.
want it to be, guys. It's
Leicester
not
City
bad,
seem
is
to
it?
have forgotten their motto. So passive, almost accepting their fate. Vardy's trying, Hermansen is quality, but others, if you're going down, at least go down fighting. That's Henry Winter.
That's more.
Yeah, I think Rob.
That's more worrying than the tactics for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. The players are out, so I'll let you both go. See you both at full time.
See you later.
But hey, could be worse. We could have 45 minutes plus 9 minutes extra time.
Don't say that.
Well done for jinxing that one, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, Kate.
Cheers.
See you later, mate.
There we go. Kate, there, an unexpected entrance, and Tom. We're about to kick off for the second half. So here we go. West Ham will be kicking off in the second half. Let me get my ears in. Although, why? I don't really want to listen to this. And we're off. No change of personnel, no tactical change. So he's just watched that 45 minutes and said, these are the players that can get me out of this shit. Oh. West Ham haven't made any changes. They don't need to. And I tell you what, none of the players are going to be fucking knackered because they've had nothing to do. Jim, I'm glad you. I hope you didn't put any money on that. We were saying this, weren't we, about Brendan? We kept saying, I hope he's going to be sacked. What? No changes, Wiz. You're quite right. If only, Kevin. If only. Very switched over to this left-hand side. West Ham coming forward. West Ham kicking from right to left. Claret and blue tops, white shirt and white shorts and socks. Leicester away, kicking left to right in their black away strip. Tell you what, Tony, bring back fucking Peter Taylor. Wayne, I didn't, to be honest with you. But I can believe it. I can believe it. I mean, what was Wolf trying to do there? He had the opportunity to pass it back. He didn't. He kept hold of the ball with two players on him. Neil Lennon saying that he would have done something at half time. Obviously, he was successful as a manager at Celtic. Mind you, we know what happens with them. But I'd have Neil Lennon in now. Now, Wayne. Methinks you're being a tad sarcastic there. Indeed, he gets to tackle him, but just plays it to another West Ham player. What does he say to them at half time? After that performance, well played, lad. You're doing well. It's only 2-0. We're still in this. Oh, we can't even get a fucking tackle in now. Buonanotte. El Canoe's coming away. No, he fucking gives it into space. What the fucking hell was that? First counter attack we've had. Buonanotte gets it, plays it into the fucking space. Why? Why? %86 possession, and we've only been playing, 5 minutes? Playing it around the back at the moment. Does it to report anybody? Oh, Leicester get a free kick. I'll tell you when something exciting happens for Leicester. So I'll see you at 89 minutes. Buonanotte couldn't keep hold of the ball. His first touch lets him down. Fast back to Hermanson. I'm just going to sit here and get pissed. Samare to James Justin on this right-hand side. Put it out for throw-in when we're in attack. Yeah. Robbie Savage is talking so much sense. Bobby Savage, I can say, is talking so much sense. Maybe these players just aren't good enough, basically. Well, the good news is if it stays like this, I get 3 points in the prediction league. So it's going to be 3. Decovery just giving the ball away. Oh, just shot at James Justin. So just saying how well the Leicester fans are doing to have stayed this long. It would have been very easy just to have gone home. Corner to West Ham. So no, it wasn't a corner, it was an offside. We'll just give the ball away for a fucking free kick. It's kids' football. I'm just seeing Leicester players running about, just chasing the ball. Yeah, Paul, it's not, is it? I mean, you can get divorced, change your partner. Your kids grow up and leave school. You can't change your football team, can you? No, I was just bored. I just got nothing to say. Just out of embarrassment for this power of shite that is Leicester. Leicester have it in the middle of the park. Where Notti gets to Justin and gets the ball back again. And again, we're in attack and we've gone backwards. Let's say, can we go forward now? Christensen pops it into the box. Vardy can't control it, but he manages to keep hold of it. Decovery, that's a corner to Leicester. Leicester a cheer in a corner. Do we really think we're going to get anything from this? Again, it's just a poor cross. You know, it was straight. It's just a straight. Didn't get past the first defender. Well, Notty goes down. So the substitutions that are going to be coming on. Winks. So they're going to take this free kick first of all. But Mavadidi, I think it is as well. That's fucking rubbish. I did say about Winks coming on, didn't we? So Samara is off for Winks. And Dakova Reed is off for Mavadidi. Going to be any different, guys? Hey, Lorraine. I mean, Mavadidi tried a shot there. Nothing was on, but at least he had a go at a shot. Vardy's technically still up there on his own. Vestergaard is still on the pitch. Sound like me there, Gray. Potter's going to make 3 changes based on our 2. But it could be 3-0 now to West Ham, cutting through our defence. But Faz managed to once get a decent challenge in. Winks trying to hold on the ball and make himself look like Messi. Nearly lost it, but we managed to keep hold of it. Through to Brennanotti, and Brennanotti just fucking awful. I am here. I don't like this new system they've got up here. West Ham again, just lovely play out from the back. He's run virtually the whole Leicester half. Oh, still got it in the corner here, West Ham. Going to get the cross in from Cresswell. Christensen headed it out. Mavididi back doing defensive duties. But it's headed out for a Leicester throw, which is something he did. So 3 subs here for West Ham. (2021) last time we won at the London Stadium. So the ball forward to absolutely nobody. Yeah, armchair. No. Vardy now on the ball, plays it back, but not a good ball again. Justin, overlap. Mavididi can't get on the header on the end of it though. That was El Canoe's shot, but it is a corner to Leicester. El Canoe's actually running for the ball now. I mean, it broke from Mavididi more by luck than anything. It was a good cross in from James, but Mavididi couldn't get into it. But a corner for Leicester on the far side, kicking left to right. It's up into the box. Oh, Vestergaard got the header, and it was going in, but it was an easy save, though, for Areola. At least he was on target. Don't go away. I am coming back again. I mean, are Leicester looking a bit better? Yes, they are. Yeah, I mean, if the worst was to happen, if West Ham were to lose this game now, or even draw this game now, there'd be questions. There'd have to be questions of Graham Potter. No, don't be apologetic, Prashant. That's all we've got sometimes. I mean, they're just saying now, why is it taking Leicester so long to at least to start to show a little bit of desire? But this is Leicester's season. Oh. Oh, free kick to Leicester. Yeah, that was a foul. Second half going pretty much shite still. Aaron Ferguson could be coming on. He was, of course, the guy that we were after as well. Free kick to Leicester. High into the box. Fucking rubbish. All the way over. I'll be back in a second, guys. I won't be using scenes again, I'll tell you. Aberdeen gets the ball in. Indeed. I mean, you need a striker on then. Indeed, he's not a striker. Another change. For West Ham, though. Not a change for Leicester. Definitely, Ant. Definitely. I mean, I don't know. I can't think the last time a Leicester player would have got a bonus. Vardy gets the ball, but he just heads it out for goal. Is there anybody playing half? I mean, how the hell are we going to pick a man of the match? I mean, when you listen to these stats, 9th away late defeat, 20 odd in all competitions. I mean, it's just so depressing. Vardy, at least he's running, but oh. Oh, fuck off, Justin! What a wanker! You can't, honestly. There's a throw into West Ham. So coming up to 75 minutes gone. I'm looking forward to Ruud van Nistelrooy's post-match. It'll probably be like, well, we only lost 2-0 this week. Winks, he got the ball. He just gave it straight fucking back. Yeah, look, I'm going to say, this to me, this is a very good idea. Let's get some of the women players into the men's team. But then again, the women wouldn't want the men's players in their team in exchange, would they? And Bissaka there, holding back. Should have been a yellow card. Graham Potter there with his assistant manager. He's probably saying, oh, God, I didn't take that job. Kick it out to a West Ham player. Justin back to Manson. Canoes. The ball managed to avoid the sliding defensive interception from the West Ham player. We've got it on the left-hand side. Christensen. Canoes into the box. Vardy lets it run to Branotti. Branotti misses it. Goes through to Areola in the West Ham goal. Here's an interesting stat for you, and we will come back to this at the end of the show. I've just seen Opta's live win probability. West Ham United, 97.9%. The draw is 1.9%. Leicester's win probability, 0.1%. This could be 3-0 now. 3-0. Ah. West Ham should have buried that there. It took too long, but they've still got the ball because Leicester can't fucking clear it. I've never agreed with Robbie Savage so much in my life. Yeah. Hi, Heafy. I had a chat today with some guys at a local radio station because I'm changing. I'm no longer doing the breakfast show on Surrey Hills. I was talking to a local Dorset one, and they said, you know, one of the options is a Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And I said, yeah. And they said, well, what about the football? And I actually said, I do not want to watch Leicester at the moment. I would sooner do a radio show than watch this team. That's how awful they are. Leicester running forward, but you know, this is going to, oh, Christensen powering through and shooting it high and wide. It's so true. There's just no running back. Who was that player that we used to say never ran back? It was a striker. All right, here we go. Let me ask you this. 7 minutes to go. Would you take Junior Lewis back now? I've just worked that out, Frashant. The Olympic Games this year. Oh, well, I know. Would you take Peter Taylor back now? I know, Wiz. So damning. This commentary is so damning. Well, there's an option. What was Sumari? Was it indeed? He just gave the ball away there. Oh, Thomas is coming on. Just what we fucking need. Maradini trying to do something at least. And my TNT's just gone down. Thought it was going too good to be true. I know. I guess I am lucky in the fact that it's gone down. And that second goal, well, it was given to Vestergaard as an own goal. What was the point of bringing the players on then, eh? Thomas getting a decent cross in there. Luke Thomas got a decent cross in there. But again, only Vardy in there. So a sub as well for West Ham. Souček's got player of the match, and in fairness, like they're saying, they didn't need a player of the match because we were that awful. Bad news, you got another 3 minutes of this, guys. Leicester fans are leaving now. It's a corner. Just be my fucking luck now for West Ham to get a third, and my prediction score is wrong. Criswell with the corner, left footed in. Oh. And Manson comes out. Dacko doing the overlap here. But his cross went straight to a West Ham player. And then Leicester just put the fucking ball out. Jesus fucking Christ. Come on, Jeff. We can do this. About 7 seconds left. Yes! 3 points in the prediction league. Get in. Where were you when we were shit? Were you watching this? Steve Cooper, come back, please. I'm going to go and have a shit because I want to impersonate my football team. We'll be back in a few minutes with the post-match reaction. This is going to be very, very interesting, methinks. Hello. Bear with me a little bit because what I need to do is try and fit everybody on here. So do not go away. Talk amongst yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Your call is very important to us. What the fuck? Let me do that, and let me just quickly duplicate that, move that to there, and then hopefully, if we get Kate coming in, she will be able to join us. I just really, all I can say is that I said I would go and do a radio show Saturday afternoons so that I didn't have to watch this load of piss every weekend. He still is, isn't he? That didn't work. So let me move that back. Oh, I hate this new fucking system they've got. Right, here we go. I tell you what, the good news is, everybody, I'm not going to ask you for a man of the match because none of them deserve it. Why didn't Ruud van Nistelrooy, Brad? Why didn't Ruud van Nistelrooy's dad ever have the snip?
Because just like his son, his dad's obviously an arse clown.
I mean, I have never been as embarrassed listening to a description of my team as I was tonight. Chris Sutton said before the game, this is just going to be an easy win for West Ham. He was quite right. Everything Robbie Savage said tonight was right. Can I just say, and I am literally, you might not believe it, but I am actually going to play this.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh. I'll have what she's having.
Because I got 3 points in the prediction league. Yes! 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 Get in! Get in! 3 points in the prediction league. Puts me in the double figures for the week. Bring it on home. I don't care anymore. I simply don't care. Tom, sum it up for me.
Well, how long we got to live this madness? Be what I say. I mean, it's perpetual madness, isn't it? Now, I mean, second half was better, but I mean, nowhere near good enough still.
Was it?
Well, yeah,
Really?
mate. I know. I mean, I'll tell you what was better about it. I think they worked out they better start running a bit more because they really hadn't run at all in the first half. But I mean, like you say,
He's using a sandpaper machine.
Yeah, who's using the sandpaper machine? Yeah. Well, anyway, but no.
Sorry, what are you doing?
Normally he's mute.
I think
he was cleaning out his ear.
He's sandpaper in his eyes after watch that, isn't he?
There's ladies present here, Wayne. I mean, at least you had the decency to go off camera.
The horror show continues in the post-match. My word. Yeah. Anyway, no, it's just, for me, it's madness now, guys. It really is. I wonder if Top will lose his bottle this week because sometimes this happens, doesn't it? A bit of pressure will build and then something happens. It happened with Cooper, perhaps, in hindsight, didn't it? So, not good at all. Unfortunately, we've got big problems. I said it at half-time, mate. For me, I think we need to burn the house down and start again because it's that bad. I can't see anything changing without us getting right into the foundations of it and starting again.
Relegation battle here, Jim. Play like that, gobshite. Utterly disgraceful. Championship with points deductions. There are problems through the ranks. I mean, everybody just, is there any, can you pick up just one thing that was half decent about tonight? Come on, I dare you. Find something.
I really can't think of anything. I mean, Wayne texted me earlier, and he's like, during the match, come on, Jim, help me out. I had no words. And that's right after you made the comment that you didn't have anything to say. I couldn't find anything. It was just disgusting. We got to the point, the last couple matches, this season, we were cheering for and hoping for victories. Then we were cheering and hoping for draws. Now we're cheering and hoping for corner kicks. I mean, where have we come? It's disgusting, utterly. And Tom's probably right. We need to just blow it up. He's not making any changes. He's not throwing everybody up to try to get a goal. He's not doing anything. And it's so disappointing.
Wayne,
Kate wasn't there.
No, she, as Ant said earlier, he said the only good thing is I didn't spend 50 quid to go and watch this. But Wayne, I mean, have you finished whatever you were doing before?
Yeah, I was cleaning the lens on the laptop, actually, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That makes it sound even worse.
Yeah, he cleaned the lens off his laptop, scrubbed his hard drive clean and everything.
Do you know what? Sometimes I forget to unmute myself, and the one time I should have muted myself, I didn't.
You give us something to talk about.
Kate said there, you just made it sound worse. I should have quit while you're ahead. I say it's not often I agree with Robbie Savage, but no change at half time. And the commentator actually said, make 5 changes at half time. Couldn't get any worse.
No, in fact, to be honest, Chris, I think you ought to play that video of the love video, because you were giving Robbie Savage loads of love, Chris.
Oh,
and
God.
he deserved it. And
No,
I've got
he does not. He never deserves it.
I'll tell you what, I'm the Flash there.
Yeah, that's every few minutes it was like, oh, Robbie, I love what you just said there.
He had nothing to say. He had to say that. He had nothing to say.
No, but the thing was, he was right, and he made the point, Kate, did he not? He said, like, people hate me because of the way I left Leicester, but I still got friends there. I still want them to do well. But he was just saying everything right, you know.
Yeah, but Robbie Savage only says things that are right when we're being shit. When we're doing brilliantly, Robbie Savage forgets that he plays for us because he can't stand it because he's salty. He's all right piling on, doing the right thing when we're playing shit, and we all agree with him. But he will never, ever say that we do good when we do good.
He did in the Champions League.
No, I'm not having it. He's salty.
Wow, this is coming from a fictitious salt over there. That was salt answering to salt, weren't it?
Kate, Indeedy, how did he play tonight?
So a ball comes into the opposition's box for him to head, and it ends up on the halfway line. I don't really need to say anything else.
It was just nothing. I mean, look, it could have been worse. You could have paid to have gone down there.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, there's
yeah,
just
he was
nothing.
awful. He was absolutely awful. That was the bits that I don't like about Wilf, all in a nutshell tonight. And I do think when he was injured, we missed him. But he's just not the Wilf that we know, them that we're used to and that we're used to see. So I don't know whether Enzo just gave up the ghost trying to press him as a high 8, because he should be nowhere near that kind of role either. But I do think he's hampered a bit playing Samari. Like I said earlier, there's so much overlap with Samari constantly, where Wilf's used to be in that lone CDM there. But yeah, it was just an absolute shit show from start to finish. And it was because I don't think we didn't show desire under Cooper. I felt we still showed desire under Cooper. Something's massively gone wrong. To see Harry Winks jogging back there for their attack, that's not Winks. Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know if he understands that we're supposed to set up to try and score.
I hate to say this, but I have to agree with Robbie Savage here. Because so no. Listen me out, Brad. Back me up here. He said he was disgusted with the way when they had that breakaway, which should have been 3-0. The players, the West Ham players, were running past our midfielders to help the attack. What were our fucking midfielders doing?
I know a lot of people, and maybe I was too young to fully understand why, but I know a lot of people just hate Robbie Savage, the way he left our club. I don't understand what what he did so wrong to have such hatred and such biased hatred towards him. But I'd rather have him in the midfield right now. In fact, there was 3 midfielders from ex-Leicester midfielders I heard through my commentary because it switched between streams. I had Mark Albrighton, Robbie Savage, and they even had Neil Lennon pop on for about 2 minutes. I'd rather them 3 be playing right now because they might be, late 40s, early 50s. They'd outpace Winks for days. That is not just not Harry Winks. That is alarmingly bad to say that today we down tools. I remember when we played Man U in the Carabao Cup, Chris, and we said it was a brilliant performance. It was just a shocking defensive display. We lost 5-2. And you asked, has Cooper tried to do something or has he changed something? Is this a chance for him to save his season? And I told you, no, it's absolutely nothing to do with that, Chris. The players have just got sick of his crap style of play and have gone against the grain and done it themselves. And tonight, that's what I saw when Mavididi went on. Because you saw Mavididi, this was Mavididi being told to warm up. This was Mavididi when his shirt number came up. This was Mavididi as soon as he got on the pitch. Woof, 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 I've run around, I want the ball, I'm going to show you what the fuck I can do. It wasn't.
I don't remember, in fairness, I don't remember when he was warming up that Mavididi was wearing a dressing gown.
He might as well have been, Chris, because they didn't get out of the pyjamas and get on the bus, did they, Chris?
No.
They looked like they were too busy trying to stay warm than they were.
They all had their slippers on.
Oh, yeah, well, I got more accuracy.
Yeah, match.
I've got more accuracy in my slipper than our players showed.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, Tom, and I said this during the commentary, bring back Junior Lewis.
Yeah, it's getting that bad now, isn't it, mate? Yeah, to have Junior Lewis mentioned in the positive and Robbie Savage tonight, we've hit 2 full houses there in one go, haven't we? Mate, it's insane. I was talking to Wayne and Jim during the game, and I've come to the conclusion now that Rude very much only really knows this one tactic. It's worked well at teams like PSV or wherever, where you've got some really good quality young players, you know, who are going to be international footballers. But because he's never actually worked with a scrappy team that's a little bit more difficult, lacking a bit of quality, I don't think he knows what to do. And I think when you're playing these type of systems like Pep Ball, the players make the difference individually to make the system work. And I think we're seeing now the limitations that we have got under him, and he's not going to change it, mate. That's the thing that gets me. It's madness every week. We might as well close the post match up and go watch last week's.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a fair point. Jim, though, I mean, look, he must know what is being said. You know, I mean, I laughed at Kate last week because she had to write about those 2 games for a BBC. What the hell am I going to say about this? Whether anybody, I think there are people that do read it and the different comments and posts, and they know about the different groups. Surely somebody's got to be saying to Rude, look, this is what they're saying.
I think so, and I think whether they're a player or they're a manager, their response would be, I don't pay attention to that. But they hear it. And I think to what Tom said, it may be different here. It is different here talent-wise than where he was at PSV and what he was used to. But why not make changes? If you've got a group of square pegs and they're not fitting in the round holes, you make some changes, and that's what's.
No, very, very true. But how long? I think Jim's back there. I think he froze for a minute, but he's back.
No,
Wayne. Yeah, no. Wayne. What does he do though? I mean, does he not sort of look at this and go, look, we're down. I might as well throw something different in the pile. At least we'd have respect for him for trying something different. You're on mute.
The one time you need to be off mute.
It is really strange. The choices he's making.
Chris.
One thing I want to say is the guys in the chat, when you do your watch along, Chris, they give great therapy, and the banter is what gets you through these awful matches, because like you struggle to have anything to say. But no, a lot of Rude decisions are just really strange. The fact that he talked up the youth, he didn't play them. I mean, where are the youth in the squad today? They're just not in there. Edouard's not even in the squad. And I think Rude it's like anything. You take a bit of time and then you realise that Rude is not a great tactician. He's certainly not good at motivating the players and getting the best out of them. And one thing you can see, although people had criticisms of Cooper, he did get the best out of a lot of those players. And he played to our strengths. And Rude is not playing to our strengths. He's playing the same system. He's not trying three at the back. And we are really looking poor. In fact, there was one highlight of the match, actually. I think man of the match should go to Jamie Vardy because he did a one-man pylon on top of a West Ham defender. And he also was trying to shout at the team to get up the frigging pitch. And he was sometimes running around trying to get the ball off three of their defenders on his own.
Yeah, I mean, Kate, I'm gonna put this to you, Kate. And I know I've said that we can't do anything with it. What's the point of changing the manager now? But look, Reno is an Everton fan. Dyche has more idea than Van Nistelrooy. At least if Dyche was to come in, at least he'd sort the defence out, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you'd like to think so, for sure. I mean, the defence is so far below where it should be that the only way is up, really. It's just become an absolute calamity. And the lightness I can give it, I don't know if you remember way back when Newcastle were in the Kevin Keegan era and they had like Darren Peacock, Philippe Albert, people like that at the back, and they were just making so many mistakes. It was almost a laughing stock. But luckily they had decent strikers up top. It's like, it reminds me of that, where it's just you don't want to float the ball anywhere near the defence because they completely fall apart. It's just a calamity. But I wouldn't be against bringing someone like Dyche in. I don't want to sack a manager. It's the least desirable thing for any football fan, I think, because it's so disruptive. It's expensive. I don't think affordability is a thing. PSR maybe, but we can afford to sack him. But it's always a roll of the dice, isn't it? But I just don't think at the minute it can get any worse. I'm way more Rude out than I ever was Cooper out. I thought there was still something that made me feel uncomfortable about Cooper's sacking. And I still stand by that now. And Rude just really looks completely out of his depth and a fish out of water, really.
He was stood there, Brad, at the side of the pitch, arms crossed, just staring at God knows what.
Yeah, and Kate, you say you don't like to see a manager getting sacked. Well, you know them memes where it's like you're like the odd one out when you realise you lied on your CV and now you've got the job. You don't actually know what you're doing because you actually lied on your CV about it. Well, that's Ruud van Nistelrooy. So sacking him would be like sacking a tea lady from somewhere for me. It wouldn't bother me at all if we sacked him because at least then we'd actually get a manager.
But do you not feel as a Leicester fan though, or a football fan, it's always difficult to sack a manager? Like it feels like it could go one of two ways every single time. It is disruptive as a fan as well.
Well, we haven't got a manager, Kate. This guy's a fraud. He's not a manager. He's an absolute fraud. We can't go any lower than we're going. And that's only because Southampton will not manage 8 or 9 more points. That's the only reason we will not go any lower, Kate. We can't get any worse. What are we projected to do right now, Kate? Not score any goals from now until the end of the season. You know what I mean? I'd rather risk the dice and get Sean Dyche. Hell, I'd rather have got Mark Albrighton, Neil Lennon, and I know you hate him, but Robbie Savage after the game and gone, here, lads, you remember in 99, 2000 when O'Neill left and you lot wanted to take over and they got Peter Taylor in and it ruined the club? Have a second go at it now. Go on the phone to Tony Cottee.
This was said about Cooper. So many people said about Cooper, if we continue as we are, we'll be rock bottom by Christmas. So we bailed.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Kate. I actually wasn't. I wasn't one that wanted Cooper sacked. I was losing patience with him, and I felt he needed to change things. But at least we could sit her in some defeats of these these post matches, and go here and go, he did make changes, he did try something new, but it didn't work, or he left it a bit too late because we only got one back and not two. You didn't see that from Rude Chris. We used to laugh and say, "Oh, look who's on the sidelines! It's Seal the Clown, who used to clap all the time." I'd rather have him back in the dugout because at least we got a reaction from him. And again, sorry, I'm going to swear at you, Kate, saying this, but Robbie Savage even said it. Martin O'Neill on the touchline would be up and down that touchline, ranting and raving, throwing his arms around, swearing at you probably, if you can understand him speaking Irish, but still, he was probably saying some profanity, some more than playing bad. I just want something, because literally, apart from Southampton getting 8 or more points, we cannot get any worse. Roll the dice with this one. We shouldn't have sat Cooper. I'm with you on that one, Kate. We should have given him more time. But
the rest of us can just take a seat here. Okay.
Yeah. Me and Kate are having a little tiff and a little agreement in the same breath.
I feel like you've missed my point. I'm not saying I'm anti-Rude out. I'm actually quite pro-Rude out. But what I'm saying is you're a little bit silly to not think that in the flux of not having a manager for maybe 1 or 2 games, that doesn't feel disruptive to you. Because it feels disruptive to just lose. Whether you think it's the right decision or not, there's always that, "Oh, you fuckery, we're going to get in then." Or it's Andy King, who's only just like wet behind the ears still. He's just come up from the juniors. Like there's a complete nervousness about it, and you can't deny that. Any new manager that comes in, you go, "Fucking hell, I hope he's good." Like every time. I'm not anti-Rude out. I'm just saying the feeling of disruption and nervousness and the threat of rolling the dice is the same every fucking time, whether you're convinced the manager should be sacked or not.
I mean, but we're in a scenario now, though, Kate, where we've got nothing. We've literally got nothing to lose.
We're not. But
we have got a really expensive tea lady, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think
I have to go anyway, guys. I've got to go.
Oh, all right then, Kate. Thanks so much for coming in.
Nice to see you.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Stay away from sharp objects.
To
follow up with that, I told the fellas at halftime, I said, this is going to be one interesting post match. I was fearing that when we came live, we'd have Brad hung from the rafters, just dangling after this display. But I mean, my question is this about the financial impact. We got to do something. And Kate has one point, it is disruptive. But my only feeling is, what does it do financially? Are we going to hurt the club by firing him? Is that more disruptive or detrimental to the club than just shaking things up? I have no problem with getting rid of Rude and getting somebody in there just to see a new lineup on the pitch and actually guys that are showing effort. But what's it going to do financial? That's my question.
Tom, let me ask you. Look, the games that are coming up: Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Newcastle, Liverpool. We're going to probably lose all of them anyway, so why not get somebody in? Because we're not going to win the games at the end of the season that we could win, which are the Wolves, the Southampton, the Forest, no disrespect to Forest, the Ipswich. Would it now not be the time to change?
I feel so, Chris.
So if we do change, will it make any difference?
I feel it is, and let's be honest here, guys. I know sometimes Leicester fans are viewed as quite trigger happy by other fans. Probably they probably think, "Oh, we've sacked managers way too early." Rude's managed himself into this position. Rude's done this on his own accord by what he's gone out and picked and put out on the pitch, and the fact that he's been very steadfast in it on the boat. Yeah, so no, I think it is time, Chris. But I think the thing is as well, we need to have a proper plan this time, not just to go and grab whoever's there. Make a really interesting decision now. I mean, I would like us to think slightly outside the box. I think we're on the right path with Enzo, just maybe not the style of football, if you know what I mean. Because I think going now and trying to do this system, which is out of date now, and unless you've got real quality players, isn't going to suit you. I think you need to think tactically and go, okay, let's find a younger manager who we're going to give a couple of years to with the whatever team we got left, and someone like a Will Still, someone who's got different ideas, there's something that could be like the new phase of football now, because we're not going to be doing anything just trying to compete doing this with everyone else, are we? We're showing that.
Wayne, if we do let's say we bring somebody in, and I think the problem is that whenever we bring anybody in, we give them a 3-year contract. And I've said this before, why not bring somebody in and say, right, to the end of the season, a bit like with Dean Smith, end of the season, keep us up, then we'll look at whatever. But if we were to replace it with Dyche, and I suppose he's the obvious one that could keep us up, if anybody could, is it too late? What can you do with this load of shit that puts on a Leicester shirt every week?
Yeah, I think it is too late. And the trouble is, if you appoint Dyche, the Everton fans hated because of his style of football, you've got, because the reason why we got Cooper in is because long term, no, but he could probably keep us in the Premier. We sack Cooper, we go to more of a football-based manager, and it's like Pep Guardiola. People say, "Oh, the Pep way, the Pep way." I think a lot of more modern managers have evolved from that. And I think even Pep went out and signed an out-and-out old-fashioned number 9 in Ireland. You get Kevin De Bruyne saying, when he talks about possession for Man City, he said, possession is nothing. Possession is nothing. It's the amount of times you get in the box and the amount of crucial chances you convert. So that thing of the Pep thing, I think, is 10 years old. And I think there are plenty of managers from Portugal, Spain, and other places, maybe Argentina, that are really clever, good coaches, great motivators, and not too stubborn to try other things. Because like Nuno, Forest, even the hit people on the break, that's an oversimplified.
But it's taken Nuno 4 or 5 seasons to get there.
Yeah, well, to be honest, he had a good season. Wolves were a very good side, actually, on the break, and they were a very hard side to beat.
But have we got time to look at Amorim coming in at Man United? He's stuck in his ways. He's not changing that. United fans want him out. Have we got time to gamble with somebody coming in? Because if we're going to gamble with somebody coming in, we might as well just stick with Ruud and see what he can do long term.
That's the question. So Ruud has said, look, I've had the chat. I'm going nowhere. I'm in for next season. That was always the plan. But it's whether the club think he's the person to do it. And the thing is, if you get a good manager, it can go down to the Championship, bring the young players on, keep some of the players, because a lot will move on. A lot will not want to play again in the Championship. But the question is, what is the club's plan? Has Top and the board got the balls to make, like Tom said, the long-term plan? Because this, like sacking Cooper, get Ruud in, and you get a lot of young elements of fans, and they want these quick-fire answers, and they just don't exist. It's the long-term plan that we had, and we need to get back to. That's what I think, anyway, personally.
Brad, I get what Wayne's saying there, but can you see any long-term plan under Ruud van Nistelrooy?
No. Short answer, I just can't. And to kind of backtrack just a small smidge here, Chris. I don't actually think Dyche is the answer. Dyche played the same miserable football with Everton that he did with Burnley because he only knows how to do it with a bag of ragtag players. Ask Dan, your adopted
but
son.
That's what we've got. We've got a band of ragtag players.
Well, the thing is, Chris, yes and no. We do. We have a bag of ragtag players for this boring dribble of football because they clearly can't play it. But this ragtag of players, when they played attacking, exciting football, linked up together, played well and actually did something decent on the pitch. It's amazing what we see them do. You look at our goals this season, there's only about 10 of them, Chris. It won't take you long to watch them, right? But when we score them goals, it's exciting, fast-paced, flowing football. We looked decent. Even Robbie Savage said, and I know their most hated name in Leicester, apparently, alongside like Dennis Wise. Again, I'm one educated.
Don't push it.
Sorry. But no, my point is, Chris, David Moyes went to Everton and went, why the hell are you playing like this? No, you need to be doing this, this, and this. And that's pumped up. How did they score their first 3 goals against us? Rhetorical question, guys. They went, Leicester play a high line. We pump the ball in over the top of them. You are fast, man. You run. You score goal. And Beto and whoever else went, okay, no problem, boss. Woof! 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Game over. Game over in 20 minutes.
I get what you're saying, but
The
Tom,
manager's going to do that. Right now, I'm at the point where I'll take Eric Elevenhart in charge because at least he won't give us
but Tom,
we'll get
whatever you
Ronaldo
say-
out the dressing room.
all right. Let me get a word in.
No, I'm going to.
Brad, let me get a word in. Tom, whatever we say about Sean Dyche at Everton, he kept them up.
Well, he did, but I agree with Brad on this one. I wouldn't go with Sean Dyche. I think actually we'd end up hating life more than we are under Van Nistelrooy because we'd then definitely stop scoring goals. If you want my desperate answer right now, I'll get some hate in the chat for it. I'll get some love for it. Get Nigel Pearson back alongside Kingy because all the things we're seeing now that are a problem with this team about them being fools on the pitch and making us look foolish, he doesn't take fools gladly, mate. He'd have that out of that team in a week. And that for me is where we are right now. We're that desperate. The culture at its foundation beyond tactics has got to change first.
Agreed. Would you? The point I was going to ask has completely gone out of my head. So I'll come back to that. Jim, what's Ruud van Nistelrooy saying at half time?
You know, I wondered that because he doesn't seem the fiery type that's going to come in there and just throw some things around and try to rile them up. I think he gets in there and he tells them, hang in there, keep doing what you're doing, which is the fundamental problem that we're talking about. We're doing the same thing over and over again. I can't imagine him telling them anything that could light a fire under their backsides. I just can't. And I think that what we want to see, if we keep Ruud, and just to tag on the back of what Brad was saying, if we keep Ruud, we've just got to go and change and just attack and just change things. Because what we haven't seen, with the exception of those 10-odd goals that we did score, we haven't seen what this ragtag bunch would do if they just let it all out and they just went balls to the wall and attacked. We haven't. We've seen this boring, no change football. So if we're going to keep him, at least go out guns blazing. We said the same thing the other day, same thing, but there's no magic in his toolbox to get this team fired up. They've tuned him out for the most part because they haven't seen changes. I think right now they would want and at least value a change here and there. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Good. Thanks, Gaffer. We're going to go out and we're going to attack. That's good. Let's go get them. No, just go out and keep it up. We'll score. Bullshit.
Going to stick with you on this one, Jim. On how he keeps morale up. Ruud van Nistelrooy said to TNT after the match, this is how he keeps morale up. By believing in work, in turning this around, by literally moving forward and not sitting back, that is what we need to do. Fucking hell.
That's bullshit.
Did you see it? Did anybody see it? Did you see any of that, Jim?
No, not at all. And another thing we talked about the last couple post matches in the same way we were feeling now is what the hell is he seeing on the training ground to bring players in and not bring players in, to start players and not start players? We've talked before. Granted, these coaches and these managers are privy to the team during training. But what the hell is he seeing that he keeps playing these same players and getting no change in results? I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
This is it. Wayne. I mean, Leicester City manager Ruud van Nistelrooy told BBC Sport the difference between the first and second half was big. The whole first half, we were going back instead of putting our opponents under pressure. The second half, you have a totally different game, but you've conceded two. I mean, what is he saying?
That's a good question, Chris. That's like asking how what's the origin of life?
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah, I did put in the chat, how many times will you mention the word bullshit? And talking about Ruud van Nistelrooy, because that is bullshit. And to be honest, one thing you notice from the match is at one stage there were 9 Leicester defenders around the 18-yard box and back towards the Manson. There was only 4 West Ham players, and then you got Vardy isolated on his own up front. And Buonanotte makes a run on his own, breaks the lines. The nearest Leicester player is 30 yards back, completely disjointed from attack to midfield. We were sitting too far back, and you see all them. You think, right, okay, so you got teenagers playing on the park football. The manager goes, "Get forward, get forward," and they're just very, very basic things. You're thinking, why the hell isn't he screaming from the sidelines? Push forward, push forward. And like Robbie Savage said, there you go, Chris. Robbie Savage, he said, if he should be screaming. He should be screaming at them, saying, do this, do that. Yeah, and that's why I don't think, although I said about Ruud, whether their plan is for Ruud van Nistelrooy, I don't think he'll set the team, because the question is, do you think, based on what he's done so far, that Ruud will play youth, that Ruud will change his tactics, that, like Rob Tanner says, Vardy needs another guy up front with him, so he's not on his own all the time. Ruud has not done it. And so, logically, will he do it next season? No.
Can I throw something in? Even to follow Wayne's point, Wayne, you said it earlier about not having anybody up there with him. There was a time in the match where Vardy does his typical pressing on the keeper. He was going right at the keeper, and he's doing this. He's waving the guys out in the wing, and I looked, and there was nobody past midfield. So he's running, and he's doing this, and there's nobody there. And you have 2 players playing up top. They both can press, or at least bring somebody up there. We played too far back. He was on his own.
Brad, I just feel like we're going over the same things week in, week out. How can somebody look? 10 points from 12 games, Cooper. 7 points from 13 games, Ruud van Nistelrooy. But we say every week, how can you keep doing the same thing and believe that it is going to actually get something? There is only one answer, and that is to sack him, is it not?
Yeah, because what you've just described there is the definition of insanity. Because, I mean, you read out just a small paragraph of his post-match interview there, Chris, and it's made me scratch my head even more. Not because it's an old jumbled mess that makes no sense, but I have a question for you. We were too defensive and too deep in the first half and didn't attack enough, right? That's what he said, basically what he said. Okay. Isn't he the manager then? Didn't they play like that because he's the manager and that's how he told them to play, and that's what they spent a week training on, to play that way? So why is he surprised they played like that then, Chris? Because last time I checked, and I could be wrong, last time I checked though, the role of a manager is to pick your players, pick a formation, pick a style of play, and work on that on the training ground for a week or 4 days or however long the gap is between games sometimes, and then execute it on the pitch. If he'd have been stood there going like this, waving his arms in the air and come off going, that's not what I asked you to do, and threw the water bottles, kicked a boot in the crowd, took 5 players off, put 5 players on, and then they went out there and played differently. And he went, well, I don't know what happened in the first half. There's some players I'm going to have a real word with. Might not even see the team again because they've let me down. They've let you guys down because I wanted us to be aggressive and on the front foot, and they just not bothered. That's why I made 5 changes. I'd be sat here going, get on, Ruud. That's what we need. But it looked like he just went, I don't know. They just need they need somebody to tell them what to do because my PlayStation controller wouldn't connect. That's what happened. It dodgy batteries. That's why they didn't do it. He's making any excuse apart from taking the blame himself. Ruud, guess what, mate? You're the manager. You're the one that decides how they line up, how they play, and how they go about their business. And the one thing, Chris, and I will take a breath off this, I promise. The one thing that really tipped me over the edge tonight completely, 86 minutes he goes 2 up front. Chris, take control. I'm going light-headed. I need a breath.
Tom, on 78 minutes, Opta. You read
Van
that,
Nistelrooy. This book I've not read from Christmas. Ruud van Nistelrooy, The Journey from Legendary Striker to Visionary Coach.
Oh.
Well, he needs to go fucking back to Specsavers then, doesn't he?
I was going to
It's
say,
empty.
yeah,
Empty pages, right?
Yeah.
Empty pages.
I think we should have, if we get relegated, I know it was a Christmas present, but I think we should have a ceremonial burning of the book on this show. Tom,
Can we have a video of you taking it to the charity shop, Wayne?
they reject it. Let's be
I'd have to
honest.
pay them to take it.
Yeah. 78 minutes, Tom. I found Opta live, and I did say this in the chat. They put win probability. West Ham United. Now, there was still 10, 12 minutes to go. West Ham, 97.9%. The draw was 1.9%. Leicester's percentage of possibly winning that game, and this was when we were actually probably playing a bit better, 0.1%. It is embarrassing. Now, I'm old enough, and none of you guys are, but I'm old enough to remember the Frank McClintock years. Well, one season. And it was fucking awful. He came in, it was worse than Peter Taylor. Like we just say that, because most of you remember it was worse than Peter Taylor. But what I have heard today, what I have read today, makes me embarrassed to be a Leicester City fan. I'm actually not wearing anything Leicester. That's how embarrassed I am.
Yeah, well, it's funny, mate, because we've been saying for weeks now we think it's getting towards the 1% category of us staying up, and now the stats are finally proving it. Because, like you say, the stats weren't that bad a few weeks ago. The decline has somehow got worse. It's not as if it stayed the same. It's been bad enough as it is. It is somehow getting worse. I mean, Vestergaard again tonight comes in, walks around. He's not pacey as it is, and he walks around, and then things hit him and go in the goal. And he's like, "Oh, the ball was there, fantastic."
Tom, stop! You'll hurt his feelings.
Oh, mate, I know, right? I mean,
Don't you have a go at my love child? I want to say, if he is my love child, after that performance, I'm cutting him out of my fucking will, because he was absolutely shit.
Honestly, I wanted to smack him with a stick and go, "Can you bloody run?" As if he was at school. Come on, mate, get moving a bit here. But it's hideous, mate. It's hideous. I mean, the stats don't lie, do they? I mean, if we weren't poor enough before, we've managed ourselves into being poorer now. And like you say, where does it end? Because ironically, Southampton might be below us in the league table. By the end of the season, it's a race to see who will actually be the worst team, because we're not much better. We're really not, boys.
Jim, if Ruud was to suddenly have somebody shove a spear up his arse and he actually gets into some sort of second gear and decides to maybe try a different formation, is this team good enough to stay up?
I think we've run out of chances to say that. I think he would have need to have done that last match or this match. We got a gift the other day to kept Ipswich within a little bit of reach. Mathematically, we're still in it, but we haven't seen that fire, that effort. And like I said, when you asked me earlier, what's he say at halftime? I don't think he has anything to drive this team, to fire them up, to play, to save their season. And he doesn't have the managerial skills that Pearson had or others for other teams that saved their season. He doesn't have it. And he hasn't shown us the willingness to change. Nothing, Brad said it, we've said, nothing will change if he doesn't change. He's the man in charge. So no, I don't think it's too late for him to make any changes, because it is.
Surely, and I'm actually this is going to be a very interesting chat tomorrow. Tomorrow night, guys, 7:00. I'm going to be interviewing Lynn, who is co-chairman of the Foxes Trust. And I think that is going to be a very, very interesting chat, because obviously they've just had a meeting with Susan Whelan or what have you. But it's the nobody. They have meetings. Don't clubs, Jim, have meetings after a game to discuss what's happened?
Yeah, I think winning clubs do, because winning clubs hold each other accountable. They have people who are in charge that know when something is not right. They want an answer for it. We don't have that from the top down. No pun intended. We're not making anybody accountable for what's happening. And any good business, after a bad week, production numbers are down. What went wrong? What are we going to do to fix it? Our production numbers are going south quick. They have been for months. They're not doing anything. So yes, winning clubs, winning businesses, successful clubs and businesses do that. We don't.
Wayne, I said this to a friend earlier in the week, and I also said it during the watch along as well. Just how wonderful Robbie Savage is. But I also said, that I would accept what we're doing now because of what we've achieved in the last 10 years. Winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, finishing fifth twice, quarterfinals of the Champions League, semi-finals of the Europa League. Would I have all that again if I knew at the end I was going to get relegated? Too bloody true, I would do. Yeah, 110% and 200% on a Sunday. When we get relegated this season, I'm 63 now. I don't think I will see my team back in the Premier League in my lifetime.
Well, I won't say we're definitely down. I mean, the BBC, I keep showing things to the screen. The BBC says West Ham increased Leicester's relegation worries. That's all it is, Chris. We've just got a few relegation worries, actually. And the website says, I don't know why, but it says that we had 10 shots. 10 shots? Did we have 10 shots? I can't remember that. No.
A lot of the time, like I say, I was writing my daughter's messages. I was that bored with it.
No. What was the question, Chris? Sorry.
Well, I don't think I will see, because if we go down, the FL are waiting for us. Points deduction, management plans. We're going to have to sell what decent players we've got, and that's probably Hermansen and El Canous. Vardy will retire. Maybe he should have done this season. I don't think there's enough that when we've got all that and points deductions that we're going to come back straight back up. And I don't think, look, it took us 10 seasons to come back up last time. It's going to take more than that this time. I don't think I will see in my lifetime this club back in the Premier League again.
No, I think unless something significant changes and the sort of post-Fisheye death and sort of rebuilding from there, and they make better board decisions, because the recruitment and the wages given and the length of contracts, they have been really mismanaged. The Edouard one was catastrophic. It's like Rob Tanner said, if Schmeichel had stayed, we'd probably stayed up in the Premier. If we'd stayed in the Premier, we would have attracted a really good... If we'd have gotten the Champions League, a whole new category of players would have signed, different trajectory, completely different trajectory. And I think if we go down to the Championship, I don't think Ruud should be there, but it's whether the board can make the decisions. Because, Ruud, it's all right being a visionary coach, but you need to be a leader. You need to understand people's limitations, and you need to be able to motivate people to do things they don't want to do. Try 100%, and Ruud cannot get that with the players. So he is not suitable for the Championship, which is a hard battle. And I think unless the board do something significantly different, and I think Rob Tanner said they need some help. They need some help in how they manage the contracts and sourcing players and getting real back to the model that worked for them. Yeah, but it will be a while, Chris, but it depends if they can make the brave decisions and sort the management out.
Yeah. I know, Brad, you've got to go soon, so very quickly I'm going to go ask you the question. But the first question, a yes or no, if I'm going to go around now. I'm just going to throw this out there. Peter Taylor or Ruud van Nistelrooy, Brad?
Peter Taylor.
Tom?
Taylor.
Jim?
I I wasn't around for the Peter Taylor, but I'm going to side with the fellas because they know. So I would say Taylor.
Wayne?
Taylor, it is dire.
Now, next thing I'm going to say, Brad, give me your, and I know what it is because I've seen it in the chat, but give me your team performance.
Same as the manager, mate, because he held them back. 0.
Tom?
Matches.
Yeah, I agree with Brad tonight, a 0, because if the manager's not taking accountability, you see the players aren't going to take any, are they? 0 across the board.
Jim?
0, and I got the man of the match for you. Right there.
You stole my thunder there, sir. I was going to pick him. Wayne?
I'd say you and the people in the chat, Chris, for keeping the vibe up.
No, the team performance. The team performance.
Team performance, yeah. Yeah, naught. No, I'd say a 1. A 1.
Tom, no 5 this week?
No, I made this.
I'm sure somebody had one good run that would get it a 5.
Mate, you need to clip that apology I put on the show the other day so everyone could see that, because
He
that was
an apology. He made an official apology, a speech.
He was laughing and giggling in the background as I was doing it as well, which was off-putting, but it was quite hilarious. But no, mate, it's I've learnt my lessons. I think it shows you the effect of being a Leicester City fan right now. We're being chucked all over the place, desperately looking for answers. But I think the nice thing tonight is we've all kind of agreed, and it's kind of been on the cards for a while, and we're seeing it now, and I think we've got to the bottom of it, haven't we?
I actually did see at one point James Justin made a really good run, and I think they should get at least 4 for it. I really, really do. I think you're all being horrible. Wayne, your man of the match?
Vardy's for his one-man pylon. Loved it.
Jim? You're sticking with Robbie Savage.
I don't really think there was anyone. I mean, you can dissect it. I do agree with what Wayne just said, but it was just so terrible. I don't even really think anybody. So I can't give one.
Brad?
I'm going to give several man of the matches, Chris. Man of the matches, first of all, to the crowd. Second one goes to Robbie Savage, your new best friend. And the third one goes to you and any poor sod that supports Leicester that did a watch along tonight. Anyone that bothered to sit here for 3+ hours or whatever time they did and put themselves through that dross and not get their channel discontinued from YouTube deserves a medal tonight for putting up with it. So well done, Chris. Well done to all the Leicester fans and watch-alongs, because it must be so hard not to get this channel demonetized.
Tom?
I can't give it to anyone, Chris. It was that bad tonight. I would definitely say the nicest thing about tonight was on the TV, seeing all the Leicester fans still be there. And a credit to every single one of you, because you really represented us better than the football club has in months. So thank you very much on behalf of all of us.
I am going to leave with this one because I am going to pick a man of the match. Brad, do you remember when we used to look at who the Leicester fans had voted for as man of the match?
Yeah.
And it used to be Jamie Vardy would get it because he'd scored a goal, but he'd done sweet FA for the rest of the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give my man of the match to Yannick Vestergaard for scoring a goal.
Yeah, quality. You know what? How he let that through his legs and in off him to go in off that corner.
You know, I mean, that took skill.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, he's trying to catch Wild Face for defending the goal. So, you know what? Fair play to him.
Yeah, no, he scored the goal. I have to give my man of the match to Yannick Vestergaard. And I will leave it at that. Guys, look, at least we've got a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday when we can just forget everything. If anybody wants to stay on and have a chat afterwards, please do. But thank Brad, Tom, Jim, Wayne, and obviously Kate from earlier. Thank you all very, very much for actually coming and talking about that dross. It was absolutely embarrassing. I'll see you all 7 o'clock tomorrow, and we will be talking to Lynn from the Foxes Trust, who will be talking about everything that they do. and it's going to be very, very interesting. Hopefully, I won't put her off and get her walking off the stage. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you all next week. Take care.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.